Hello everyone and welcome back. I bet you weren't expecting this. I wasn't, but I've caught the bug again. I got contacted a few weeks ago by another player, Franconi. He said, "We're getting the gang back together." And I was like, "Cool, why?" And he's like, "Because we're planning on doing things." I was like, "I'm interested." So yeah, there are rumblings that we're going to try, now that we have full access to the background of scrolls, it's essentially now ours to do with as we want. So we're going to try and start making changes as we see fit. So balance changes to certain scrolls, adjustments to mechanics if we feel necessary, and if we are ambitious enough and manage to pull it off, start introducing our own scrolls, which is certainly something which I'm excited for. And I'm starting to do a few videos now for you guys, kind of get you in the mood, get you in the groove, reintroduce you to the game. It might be called Caller's Bane, but it still scrolls to us. It is free. If you do not know, just go on the Caller's Bane website. I'll put the link in the description below. You can download it, join in the Scrolls Guide server. Your old profile will have been wiped, so you have to start all over again, collecting all the scrolls. I know it's a pain. However, the gold progression has been ramped up immensely, so it won't take a long time to gather all the gold you need in order to get a deck together. Black market prices are a bit high in some cases. However, if we get enough players coming back, I'm sure those prices will drop. And existing players probably I'll be playing for a bit. We'll be happy to give out scrolls if you need them. So do that, and also join the Discord as well if you need any help. I'm sure people will be all too glad to help. So yes, this video, I've decided to do 10 deck guide videos for you guys. Covering the 10 favourite decks that I've been playing, created over the past... God, how many years is it now? Almost 10 years? Is it really? No, 8 years. Yeah, I was in my third year at university. Almost 8 years since this game, or since I started playing this in closed alpha. Those were the days. And yeah, I thought we'll just cover the 10 decks. Some have been updated, some haven't. I haven't had time to really... sort of add in the latest set for some cases, but the decks will still play out well. And it's just to, as I say, it's just to kind of get you excited for scrolls again and join in. And the first deck we're going to look at is called Nutrition Fruition. This was a deck that I came up with back in closed alpha just before beta was released, I think it was. It was a sort of joke just to use the card Nutrition. And it got quite popular, even though it wasn't necessarily meant to be taken seriously. But it was quite fun. Nutrition cost 1 back then, and yeah, it still should cost 1. That might be a change we make. Who knows? And then just before sort of the closure of Scrolls was announced, the deck came alive again. I had another idea, which this deck will cover, to do with Smarter Shift and Seed of Insurgency, which really allowed for some crazy combos when combined with Nutrition. And then another player called Rotsbengal, if you're out there, hello, who was a very good deck creator as well. He added in a few other things, really took the deck to where it is on your screen now. And I thought we'll dive into it to show you what it's capable of. So first of all, we'll look into the Nutrition combo itself. Starting with Nutrition, it costs 2, should still cost 1, but whatever. You can sacrifice target unit you control and add that unit's cost to your current resources. That seems okay. So we're sacrificing a creature, or I guess a structure as well, but why would you do that? In order to gain some resources. A bit of benefit, might gain 3 or 4 and then do some things. That's not really a great trade-off for losing a card. However, when combined with Seed of Insurgency, which is when enchanted creature is destroyed, it's resummoned on the same tile. Its countdown set to 1. We're not actually losing the creature. We're getting the value of the ramp from Nutrition, but the creature still remains. This means that we can have a 7-8 cost creature on the board with Seed of Insurgency enchanted on it, play Nutrition, we're up 5-6 resources, and we've got a reduced countdown creature back to full health, offering immense value. And then also we then get the benefit of any enter the battlefield triggers from this as well. So like Sister of the Owl, we get to summon another owl. We'll get into creatures later on, but that's just an example of what this can do. Also to help, we've got Smarter Shift here. which allows us to summon a random creature scroll from our library, and its health is set to 2. So we can cheat out some really, really high cost creatures, some of the Owls and Sister Vial as I mentioned earlier, and then cast Nutrition on it or Seed of Insurgency to get massive value from them. So the ideal situation is Smarter Shift turn 3, Seed of Insurgency on it turn 4, and then we've got our really powerful creature which the opponent's going to struggle to deal with. And even when they do kill it, it then comes back at full health, so we got the full value from it there. Speaking of creatures, these are the main 10 creatures, well 4 creatures, 10 of them in total, that you're going to want to pull out with Smarter Shift. We are running a few more creatures, but these are the ones which we want to try and hopefully get out more often than not. Starting with Kinfolk Veteran, 3/2/3 with haste. It's been a staple of Grove decks for as long as the game's been around. Was a 3/2/5, then a 3/2/4, now it's a 3/2/3, and I think it's in a good spot. Then also Sister Vial, 6 cost 3/2/5. An Owl is summoned with Sister Vial, and when an Owl deals damage, Sister Vial gets +1 attack. So if we get Sister Vial out turn 3 with Smarter Shift, it will enter as a 3/2/2, and we'll get a 1/1/2 Owl as well. And then if we Seed of Insurgency it and it dies, it gets resummoned again as a 3/2/5 this time, we get another Owl. So it's got incredible value with Seed of Insurgency. And also if you Nutrition it with Seed of Insurgency, again Sister Vial comes back and you get an extra Owl and you up 4 resources, so that's good value too. Then got 2 Kinfolk Jarl, 46 Relentless. It's got Inspiring for +1 attack, so when it gets resummoned, all surrounding creatures will get +1 attack, which is useful, and also gets +1 attack for each adjacent creature, so we can get this up to like 8-9 attack just by surrounding it with all our little creatures, such as our rats, Sister the Foxes. And then we've got Jarl Ilhald, which is the big bad boy of the deck. It costs 8, which is very expensive, but we can cheat it into play turn 3, which is amazing. It's a 6/2/7. It's unique, so we can only have 1 copy on the board. It's got Relentless and Inspiring +2 attack, so a better version of Kinfolk Jarl. And then Pillage, its countdown is set to 0 after attacking. So if it hits an opponent's idol, it will attack next turn effectively, which is just putting constant pressure on our opponent. The good thing with the Jarl Ilhald is it combines well with Rat King, which is another card we've got in my deck. If we Seed of Insurgency Nutrition Jarl Ilhald, it's a God Hand. Suddenly we've got Rats attacking for 5, and that's a combo we can get off quite easily, and then we can snipe idols when our opponent's not expecting it. So next I thought we'll take a look at the removal package that the deck runs. It runs the standard Frostgale Quake sort of package for growth. I'm only running 2 Quake actually, because taxing can have a detrimental effect now, where it does. And also we're running a much more powerful removal package in No AD End of Reason. This was a late addition to growth decks, and if you're playing a late game growth deck and not running this package, then I believe you're making a mistake. It is insane value, especially against decks where Quake isn't as effective, like Mono Decay for instance, where you've got high health units which benefit from things dying, whereas with End of Reason we can deal 6 damage to a row just by playing a Rat King and then blowing things up. So we get incredible value out of End of Reason. If you don't know No AD, it's a 2/2/2 with Replenish. So when it comes into play, your current wild is increased equal to the cost of No AD. So we gain 3 wild resources, allowing us to play End of Reason. That's quite useful. Yes, it comes off Smarter Shift, so that's not great. Sometimes you might want to pull No AD for End of Reason off it, but more often than not, you want your bigger cost creatures. However, you have to run it just for this immense potential for End of Reason. So, yeah, not perfect, but it's a compromise which I think you have to make. Next up, we've got the sort of draw package, if you like. Sister the Fox, 1/2/1, which draws us a scroll when it comes into play. A standard growth scroll from all the way back in Alpha. Yes, it's another creature. It's a weak one. We don't want to put out with Smarter Shift. Even if we do, we're spending 1 more resource to draw a card, so it's not too bad. And it gets an extra health, so a 1/2/2 for 3, draw a card. Not the worst deal in the world. The reason we're playing this is for an early blocker, and so we've got something cheap so we can sack for Fertile Soil. This gives us a few more cards to have as a target. We can sacrifice the creature and draw 3 scrolls, keep our hand full. And then lastly we've got Skythorn as well. Spiky 0/4/4, when its countdown goes to 0, then we get to draw another scroll. We're playing lots of creatures, Rat King, Sister Vial, lots of creatures which spam multiple creatures, so we can draw from Skythorn quite consistently. And it's another block with Spiky 1 to help bring our opponent's creatures down. And then lastly, we've got these 11 scrolls. We've got 2 Dryadic Power, 3 Nog Nest, 3 Rat King, and 3 God Hand. Dryadic Power's there just to help protect our big creatures that we're summoning from Samata Shift. If we've got 4 resources, we can play Samata Shift, get a Jarl out, increase its health by 3. Sure, we lose movement 1 from it, but we can sort that out later with a nutrition on a Seed of Insurgence creature, so we can get the value later. And allows us to keep the creature on the board and not be targeted by our opponent's removal as easily. Then we've got Nog Nest as well. Not 3/4, it's quite slow, but it gives us some value from Nogs and gives us an early play, which this deck's lacking, so we don't want to play too many creatures. And this allows us to put down something which won't be summoned from Smarter Shift, but it still gives us early value. Then Rat King, again, it's another creature, but not a creature, if you get my meaning. So it's not being summoned from Samata, but we get the value from Rat King nonetheless. Combines well with End of Reason, no AD. Cheap bodies on board to blow things up. And cheap blockers as well, always handy. And then the big spell for growth, God Hand. Units you control get +2 attack until end of turn, and have their countdown decreased by 2. So this is our way to win the game. Everything suddenly attacks, gets buffed by 2 attack, and our opponent can't really do too much about it. Usually we win at that time. Also, good combinations with nutrition. We can play lots of Rat Kings, nutrition, a Jarl Ilhald, and then we can God Hand and attack for everything. So good end game play. Okay, so we're going to hop into a game against the hard AI now, just to show you what this deck's capable of. Sadly, everyone's at work at the moment, so no one else is on, but we'll have some fun against the AI here. This is a hand which is okay to keep. It doesn't have any of the combo pieces we're looking for, but in terms of the standard growth curve, it's not too bad. We've got a Nog Nest turn 2, Rat King, Veteran, Sister Vial, so I think we're going to keep it here. See what we're up against. We're up against Energy. Okay, so Nog Nest should stand a good chance of going off here. I kind of like the curve we've got here, so I'm going to get rid of Sister the Fox and just go with Nog Nest. We'll place it at the back, it gives us a good chance to block it with creatures and structures if our opponent's putting some threats down to help guarantee it going off. He plays a Gravelock Guard. Okay, got Nutrition, we don't want to play that, so we will sacrifice it. If we use Nutrition on Nog Nest, we will get 0 value. We do want to protect Nog Nest here, because if he attacks it and has a Spark, we've lost out there. So we will block with Rat King. We'll place it here because we want our rats to go up high. We only need 1 rat blocking down here. Unfortunate sort of positioning there, but we'll move that beast rat out of the way. And we'll keep one up here. They did get pinged by a State Machine, which isn't good for us. But it helps protect our Nog Nest. Opponent's got a Charge Coil. We are going to want to take care of that, that's for sure. Our Nogs come in with 2 health, but we've got some threats on the board now. And we're going to kick off with another threat here in Kinfolk Veteran. Nog positioning here isn't great, and being low on the board, so we're going to start moving a few up here. Doing our best to try and avoid Thunder Surge when the time comes. We're of course vulnerable to all our opponent's 2 damage removal spells. Thunder Surge, Spark, and Sudden Eruption. Can go for Fertile Soul here, or get Sister Vial out. Sister Vial will be damaged thanks to State Machine. However, I think we want to deal damage for Charge Coil, so we can't afford to play Fertile Soul yet. So I think we're just going to go with Sister Vial here. And we will move back there. So we've got our 2 Nogs threatening the State Machine next turn. He's got a Gravelock Elder, so he's got a big boy threatening us down here. There's no point in taking away the State Machine with the Nogs because it will just blow itself up next turn. However, Gravelock Elder is a threat. We have Sister Vial. That's a very good card indeed, so we will play that. I want to still separate because of Thunder Surge, so we'll keep 1 Sister Vial down here. And we'll have to move the owl out of the way so everything's not connected. I'll put it down, we'll keep it down here I think, so we have an extra attacker on this row. And we'll put it down here. So Vial gets to attack, and this will increase the attack of Sister Vial by 1. So we've got 2 big threats on our board. His State Machine blows up. And in comes the Thunder Surge. Use it on that one, okay. Unfortunately, we don't have enough attack to take out the Gravelock Elder yet. Got a Fertile Soil, Nognest, Skythorn. So we can either go Skythorn, Nognest, or play out a Fertile Soil. I think we're going to go with Fertile Soil here, and we'll use it on the 1 health Nog. So we can still play a Nognest. Could play a Frostgale and take out the Gravelock Elder. It will take out my Owl, which is unfortunate, or I can play a Nognest. Danger is if I play Frostgale, Charge Call can ping out Sister Vial or Nog. Don't necessarily know if there's a right or wrong answer here. However, I think Frostgale is the correct play. It means we take up the Gravelock Elder, still protect the Sister Vial there, I'll bring this one down. If a Charge Call does hit any of these, then we're up on cards compared to him. Sudden Eruption, okay. We got quite lucky there with those hits. So now we're going to look to protect our Sister Vial with a Seed of Insurgency. And we'll go up in resources here. Could play some Outer Shift, but I think we'll play a Skythorn. We'll place it directly in the middle there just to have that extra bit of protection. Okay, I should mention that Seed of Insurgency causes the AI to do some very odd moves. That was certainly an odd move. Again, we're playing against an AI here rather than a proper opponent because no one's on, but the deck does perform well, I assure you. So we've got some Outer Shift we want to keep that. No AD, we can afford to get rid of here. We want to keep Rat King so we can draw Fertile Soil if we get one, which we do, and also draw Skythorn. So what we'll do is we'll play some Outer Shift to see what we get. Okay, now because we've got something quite invaluable here, well, not very valuable rather. Invaluable? Is that same as valuable? I don't know. We'll Fertile Soil it to get the card draw going, and we'll do some damage to the eye. Solemn Giant and Automated Forge. Okay. So what we can look to do here is we've got a Seed of Insurgency, so we can some Outer Shift, and depending what we get from it, so we could Kinflip Veteran some Outer Shift, and if we get a Jarl, then we'll be able to take out the Solemn Giant. Alternatively, I can just some Outer Shift and Seed of Insurgency in order to protect it. I think because the damage isn't guaranteed, I think we're just going to go over some Outer Shift, see what we get. Okay, we get an OAD. We get our resources back. So I think what we'll do is we'll just Rat King down here. This allows us to get the draw from Skythorn. We get an End of Reason, okay. Now we don't want to End of Reason on turns where our countdowns on our most valuable creatures are off 0. So I wasn't obviously going to do it this turn, but this is a situation where Sister Vial, we want to have it on 0 countdown before we do that sort of play, if necessary. We would have Seed on it, so it would come back. We'll just play Nognest here at the top, protect it with an OAD. We want to still separate things where possible to protect ourselves. Could move Sister Vial up there, but I think we're probably going to go with trying to just keep Sister Vial out of the way of Solemn Giant and deal with it in a different way. We've got Nutrition, okay, so we don't need End of Reason. Alright, so we can do some funky stuff this turn. We'll probably be looking to blow things up here. We have no access to Wild, but we can Nutrition no AD. Seed of Insurgency Nutrition it. So that is a way of doing it. That would cost us 6 resources and we get 3 Wild back. And 3 growth. So that puts us down to 5 growth, 3 Wild. And then we could End of Reason and Rat King if we need to. That's a very expensive way of doing that. I don't really think that's necessary. There is a much sexier play we can do, which doesn't involve End of Reasoning. It involves playing Nutrition. So what we're going to do is we're going to move Sister Vial up here, and we'll move No AD to the front. We'll cast Nutrition on Sister Vial. So now we've got a full health Sister Vial, and then we can reposition Sister Vial behind No AD there. We also want to then Play. I mean, I probably just had lethal there, didn't I? Have I just missed it? No, I still got lethal. I just move things about. Okay, we'll just play Rat King there, and then we've got God Hand. So we've actually got lethal by doing that move. We've got the extra owl. There we go. So that's just an example of what the deck can do. If we didn't have lethal there, we could have done so many sort of cool moves. But that shows the deck off. I don't know what the AI was thinking by doing that weird move. That was just odd. So yeah, that is the deck. I'll just show you how much it's currently costing in the black market. It's going for, by today's prices at least, 258,460 gold, which is about mid-tier in terms of price for the decks I'll be showing you. The main reason for that are cards like Smarter Shift and Fertile Soil are quite expensive, close to 15,000 gold at the moment. So if you're wanting to go with a more budget version, I have some options here for you. Instead of playing 3 Fertile Soil, you can play 3 Rekindled Spirit, I think it's called, and then instead of the 3 Smarter Shift, you can play 3 Earthborn Mystic. They're currently going for 1,000 each at the moment. So that will reduce the price down by about 80,000 gold. So you're paying about 170,000, 180,000, which is a bit more realistic, so you can get that amount of gold after about 20 games. Somewhere around there. And put the deck together without hurting it too much. Earthborn Mystic can then fetch the Seed of Insurgency or Druidic Power for you. So you're getting a bit more value there. You're not getting the early Smarter Shift play for your big creatures, but it's still a good budget option. I've also thrown in a few options here if you want to sort of tech your deck against the meta, depending on how it's going. If you're facing an aggro deck, you might want to sort of bring the high level cost of things down. So we'll go down 2 Kinfolk Jarl, 3 Nognest and 3 Sister Fox. Sister Fox isn't great against aggressive decks. You want to be a bit faster on that, and Nognest is far too slow. And then I'm bringing in what I like to call the Bunny package: 3 Bunny, 3 Bountiful Times, and 2 Essence Feast. So the Bunny Bountiful Times allows us to spam our board with early creatures, block our opponent's stuff if necessary, and Essence Feast is there to give us some idle health, healing. And obviously you're drawing a bunny off the Essence Feast as well, so it kind of helps us survive against decks like YOLO Decay, Aggro Growth, Tempo Order, which can really kind of bring your idols to a low health early on, and then we can slowly recover with Essence Feast. Likewise, if you're facing against control decks, I'm actually opting to take out the 3 Frostgale and 2 Quake. Against control decks, you kind of want to just rely on End of Reason, because they're not going to be spamming their board with lots of low health stuff. You need to target their rows specifically with End of Reason. Then we're replacing that with more card draw and Rekindled Spirit. And then a new card, which, I say new card, it's obviously it's obviously a lot older, but Verdant Remnant is not a card which I've really used. But 0/3/5 with haste, and when its countdown becomes 0, you get to draw a creature skull. So again, it's another high cost card which allows us to keep our draw going. And then an extra Kinfolk Jarl for an extra big creature to have more threats. So yeah, that is the deck, Nutrition Fruition. I hope you like the new format. As I say, I'll be doing 9 more of these, covering my 10 favourite decks in Scrolls overall. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.